Hi everyone, it's Paddy here from arithmetichub.com, thanking you for choosing this video, but reminding you that whilst this is one method to solve questions like this, it's not the only method. With that being said, let's explore this concept a little bit further.
Hi everyone, so today we're going to have a look at prime numbers. These are the types of questions you may see with prime numbers, very similar if you've watched the video to the ones you would see when we're looking at square numbers, okay? So, very similar types of questions. Name two prime numbers that add to make 24, name two prime numbers that add to make 40. The style of question is very similar, okay? And that means the method is very similar. So, if we look at the method, the first thing says, write the first 5 prime numbers. And the second thing says, check for number bonds when adding, same as we did when we were looking at square numbers, okay? So, write the first 5 prime numbers. What do I mean by a prime number? A prime number is a number that's only factors are 1 and itself. So say for example, if I was to have a look here at the number 5, the only two numbers that can multiply together to give you 5 would be 1 and 5. 2 you couldn't multiply to give you 5, 3 you couldn't, 4 you couldn't, and then 5 is over there, so we know that those are all of the factors of 5. But say if you were to look at 6, for example, this isn't a prime number, this is what's called a composite number, okay? Again, you can do 1 times 6, because you can always, except for in one case, multiply a number by 1 in itself. But then what you can also say for 6 is, well, 2 times 3 can also give you 6. So now that has 2 factor pairs, or it has 4 factors. A prime number can only have 2 factors. One that's really worth mentioning here, because when we're writing out our first 5 prime numbers, it's what we don't want to write down, it's what we don't want to come up. 1 isn't a prime number, because remember, when we looked at things, say for example, when we looked at 9, we said that 9 has the factors 1 and 9, but it also has 3 times 3, so you would write 3 there like that. We don't write 3 times 3, because it can't have a factor pair where both of the factors are the same number. So instead what we write is we write 3 in the middle here, because 3 times 3 is also going to give you 9. So this would have 3 total factors. The only things that would multiply to give you together to give you 1 would be 1. So 1 is the only number with 1 factor to not prime, because it has to have 1 pair of factors to be prime, okay? So now we have a bit more of an understanding of what a prime number is. Let's have a look at these questions. Name 2 prime numbers that add to make 24. So the first thing we're going to do, write the first 5 prime numbers. Thankfully, there's no song for this, so it's just a case of knowing them. 2 is the only even prime number, okay? It's prime because the only way you can make 2 is with the factors 1 and 2. But once you've done 1 times 2, you're not going to then do 2 times 1 because they're already the factors. It's end up on the right-hand side, so we can't use that, okay? So, 2 is a prime number, 3 is a prime number, 4, well no, because you can have 2 times 2. 5 is a prime number, we've looked at it. 6, it's not because you can have 2 times 3. 7 is prime. 8 isn't prime because we can have 2 times 4. You'll notice as well, these even numbers, they're not going to be prime except for 2. Okay? 9, no, we've already looked at it. 9 you can have 1 times 9, but you can also have 3 times 3. 10 isn't going to be prime, but 11 is, okay? So there's the first 5 if we're writing them down. You're probably going to need more than that, okay? But the reason why I've said write the first 5 down, you don't want to be writing down the first 20 prime numbers, because especially if you're looking for 2 numbers that add to make 24, you'll just end up going past the target number, won't you, okay? So, let's see if we can carry on going for a little bit if we're going to 24. But let's not do it down there, let's practice and get into good habits of doing it underneath the question that we are answering. Name 2 prime numbers that add to make 24. Well, we've got the first 5 there, so let's write them down. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 12 isn't prime, 13 is, 14 isn't prime, 15 isn't prime, 16 isn't prime, 17 is going to be prime, 18 isn't, 19 is, 20 no, 21 no, 22 no, 23 is. Now immediately what you might think is, oh, we could do 23 and 1 isn't prime. So we're not going to be able to use that, are we, okay? So 23 we can already get rid of, because we know anything that we add to 23 is already going to be too much. But what we could look at is, if we look at this 19 here, we could say, right, well, what can we add to 19 to get to 24? 19 add 2 isn't going to be enough. 19 add 2 is 21. 19 add 3 isn't going to be enough. That's 22. 19 add 5 though, if I do 19 add 5, that's going to be 24, isn't it? And if I need to, I can do a really quick column addition. 9 add 5 is going to give me 4, carry the 1. 1 add 1 is going to give me 2 for 24. And there we go. I've been able to find two prime numbers that add to make 24. So sometimes when you're doing this, a good method to do, and the method that I would do if I was looking to be able to try and find the most efficient method to answer these types of questions, is I would look for the highest value number, and then I would go back and see, right, well, what can I add to this number to then see if we can find a number that makes the target number that we are looking for. So here 23 was the highest value number. Nothing I could add to 23 would give me 24. I got rid of it, then I went to 19. Is there anything I could add to 19 to get to 24? Yes, there was. I could add 5. What's great about this is now I've got these prime numbers, I can use those to answer this next question. With prime numbers, what I think is a really good idea, and what is something that I would tell my class to do, is maybe in the back of your maths book, if you turn to like the last page, or the last page that's not got any writing on, you could write down a list of prime numbers, couldn't you? You might write down all of the prime numbers up to 50. So then you don't have to remember it in your head, but you don't have to write them all down every time. You could just think, you know what, if it's a prime numbers question, I'm going to go back to this page in my book and I'm going to have these prime numbers that are already there. So the first thing you could do is take a little bit of time to make this thing with the prime numbers to make sure you could check it, but then you can go back to it every time. It's going to save you time every time. So in the long run, it's going to save you time doing it that way. Okay? So, first thing, write the first 5 prime numbers. I might go a little bit more than that because I'm going up to 40. So, let's write them in. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23. 25 isn't going to be prime. 24 isn't, it's even. 25 isn't. 26 isn't, it's even. 27 isn't, because 3 times 9 is going to give you 27. 28 is even. 29 I could do. 30 isn't, it's even. 31 I could do. I'm not going to even mention the even numbers. If they're even, they're not going to be prime. 33, no, 11 times 3. 35, no, that's not going to work. It's in the 5 times tables. 37 is going to be prime. And then anything more than that is going to be past 40, isn't it? Okay, so that's not going to work. Now, by doing the method that I've shown over here, that actually makes this really quite easy, doesn't it? Because now I've stopped at 37, and then what I'm going to do is see, right, what can I add to 37 to get me an answer of 40? Well, 37, if I add 2, is going to get me 39. It's not enough. But 37 add 3 is going to be able to get me an answer of 40. So all I would say is 37 add 3, and doing it this way equals 40. Doing it this way, making it really systematic, means you don't miss any opportunities, okay? So it might be quicker just to think, okay, well, I'll just try some things now in your number bonds, but actually, here you can have them written down and think, right, okay, what's going to work for me?
If you found this video useful, then I would massively appreciate you liking the video and subscribing to the channel. If you want to explore more methods or practice using the method we've looked at here, why not check out the teacher videos at arithmetichub.com. Arithmetic Hub has videos just like this on different methods, specifically targeting areas needed in Key Stage 2. There you can practice one particular skill, or generate your own sets of calculations designed to challenge your understanding of all the topics covered in Years 3 to 6.